So today allow me to tell you guys a story about a private rental. How I rented my 2015 Range Rover to a guest over here South Bend International Airport. So I had a guest from Turo, and this guest rented a car from me successfully. So the guest in question is like an older lady. She had to be every bit of her late 50s, maybe 60s. She rented my Lexus. Actually, the thing about this lady is that I complained about her in one of my videos. Some stuff that I posted somewhere, I think on Facebook, because she had rented my car, and she had said that something is wrong with it, that everything is wrong with this car, that because she get a discount. She complained so much about the car, and I said to her, I wasn't going for it. I was just straight up mode 1 with her. I just shot straight. I'm just bring the car back. She's like, oh no, it's fine, she'll keep it. So at the end of the day, we ended up establishing a good relationship, and she said her son or somebody wanted to buy the car. So at the end of the day, they did not buy the car. But the next time she came back into town, I believe she's like one of these, what do they call them? Snowbirds. She moves between South Bend and Florida. So she came back and she said she needed a car. And I told her from all my fleet what I had to offer. And she picked the Range Rover. So she was renting the Range Rover she rented it for a while. But for a week, she was renting it at about $600. So she was paying $600 a week for the Range Rover. And the funny thing about it, let me give you a backstory about the Range Rover. Range Rover was listed on Turo, and the Range Rover did 365 days on Turo, after which Turo unlisted the car because Range Rover had a recall. And because of the recall, Turo took the car off the platform. And there's no solution to the recall. Since there was no solution to the recall, how do I get my money's worth? Well, I can't get my money's worth from the car. So what I had to do was I had to get divisive. So one of the situations that I did is that I started figuring out ways to rent the cars to people outside of Turo. So in this case, it worked out perfectly well, because how I rented the car to the guest is that she already had a Range Rover. So when I rented the car to her, I put her in my insurance. Alternatively, she also put my car in her insurance, because since I rented it, she took the insurance on her car and put it on this car. So it worked out perfectly. And as you can see, this is the Range Rover here. See the license plate? It says rent this car. And then it shows the number that I put on there for people to rent the car. It's not a bad looking car. So she ended up renting the car, and eventually she was done with the car. She primarily she rented the car because her car was in the shop and she needed a car to drive. So eventually her car was done at the shop, and then she returned this car. So she just returned it this morning. I just came in from Chicago. I love South Bend because I love renting car to people in South Bend because the propensity for accident is very low. So they would hardly ever crash your car. But you rent it to people in the city of Chicago. So at the end of the day, she ended up returning the car this morning. So I picked up the car now, and somebody wants to rent this car today, actually in Chicago. So I'm heading back to Chicago right now. And as soon as I left Chicago, someone rented my Lexus for for a while, like in the tune of, $500. I don't know how many days, I didn't count exactly. So I'm heading back to Chicago right now. But before I get to Chicago, I got to stop in Matson, Illinois, pick up a BMW from a client. The BMW is meant for repairs. They needed me to put some kind of heater valve or something like that, because when you turn on the AC is blowing cold air instead of heat. So we got to fix that. It's like a vent valve or something like that. So yeah, that's the story about how I rented this Range Rover privately for $600 a week. So don't be scared about this thing. The insurance want money. The people that you're renting the cars to are human beings. They understand there's flexibility. There are ways to work around it. They have insurance. You have insurance. You could add them to yours. They could add your car to their insurance. There's so many ways to go about it. So be flexible. Don't be rigid in your thinking, and be open-minded when it comes to business. Good luck, guys. See you on the next one.